Hey viewers, great night for a chest workout tonight. It's raining, it's wet, but it's not cold, it's humid. I'm playing around with my cambered bar. So the cambered bar is stretching out my pecs, giving them like a massive pump. I've actually never started with incline. Starting with incline today, I have a couple of sets in, and yeah, I'm getting a crazy stretch. Also, my sort of elbows and shoulders aren't feeling great, getting a bit clicky. I started the suicide grip. Now, suicide grip is when you put the bar like, you grip over it like that. Now, on a flat press, people don't do it because it's dangerous, and like it sort of is, because with a flat press, like it falls out really easily. But on the incline, it sort of just sits nicely in my palm. I like it. I'm going to continue. I've done 2 or 3 sets of 8. I'm just going to do it until I can't do any more, really. And yeah, come join me for a set. Yeah, because new exercise is very important. I may feel for it.
Yeah, not sure what I said either. Pretty sure I was meant to say I'm getting a feel for it.
I'm just blasting a bit of volume really at like a weight I can control pretty well for 8 reps. If I was doing some kind of variation or some kind of max and I get injured, bad luck, that's my fault, you know. But if I'm just doing 8s, 6 sets, 7 sets of 8, I'm getting enough, like I'm doing enough weight to actually recruit more muscle fibers and stimulate a bit of growth. But I'm also getting the reps in. So not only are my muscles able to hold the load, but like I'm also getting a lot of practice neurologically and building my pathway, building my blueprint. And I think that's very important, like to do a PB. You don't necessarily have to lift as much weight as you've ever lifted. You can just do the most perfect rep you've ever done. That's very underrated, and no one really gives a fuck. I care. What a training incline first. Now, he's honestly one reason only. Like, I used to watch a lot of Larry Reels videos, and I just got like a flashback of when I watched that clip, and he's like, man, I've been training for like 10 years. I never felt my upper chest. And then I did bodybuilding, and then I started doing 8 reps, 10 reps, and then I felt it. And I was like, maybe if I do that, I can be like Larry too. So yeah, no other reason apart from channeling the great man himself, Larry Wills. Shout out Larry. And yeah, I'll do about 2 or 3 more sets. Then I might switch to a flat. So I've now set up the bar, kind of strange, but it's on a military press. I decided not to do flat. I might do flat a bit later. Why am I doing military press? I don't know, I just feel like doing something new. Look, it's one of these exercises, I've never really got anything on it, out of it, but I haven't really given it a raring hot crack. I've done it for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then like, it hurts my elbows or shoulders or something, and I sort of stopped doing it. But yeah, I've never really done seated for a program, so I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna go super deep, I'm going light, I'm going 5 kilos, so that's like 30 kilos. And yeah, I'll just pump out 8 reps maybe, and see how that goes. See, I feel like that was relatively easy. I'm gonna bang probably 10 more each time. See, that was actually a really good working weight. I'm gonna bang out 5 or 6 sets on that. If you watch closely, you'll notice that when I was doing 30 kilos versus 40 kilo, my technique was very similar. I got more range on the 40, and that's just from having more weight. So with that weight, you need to choose wisely. You need to choose weight you can control. You have to sort of think that too. You know, I've heard it with maxing out in squats and going heavier. If your squats a little shallow at like your, I don't know, 6 or 7 RPE, I'm not saying you should train at parallel. the entire time. But if you want to get a below parallel squat, potentially your technique doesn't change. You can just do more weight and then your body adjusts. I haven't really tried that theory out with squatting, but certainly with the exercise I would recommend. Also, one thing I like about this, because like really like emphasize that shoulders back, like really good posture. If I don't lift with good posture, my shoulders are just going to click. My elbows are going to get injured. It forces me to really, you know, bring that chest down and engage the muscles I want to target. Alright, I had enough of that. I'm now doing some flat. I'm not going to use the cambered bar anymore. Yeah, I did 12 sets. I think that's all good. That's enough. I'm now going to do some close grips